Hello, and welcome back to the weekly collective reading for Cancer signs, I guess. That's so funny. I wasn't planning on doing a sign specific reading, but I guess I am. And you know what? Maybe we'll do water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So let's get started. The upcoming week is June 9th through what? The 16th? So let's see what's going on. Seems like there could be a special day upcoming around the 17th. The 11th to the 17th, the 12th, and the 21st. All could be significant times in the lives of water signs. Things could just really be rhyming, and there could be a good rhythm to things flowing on those days. Just within this time period, things could be doing well, especially starting around the 10th or the 12th. And it could hit its peak anywhere from the 17th to the 19th. Yeah, probably ending around the 23rd, 24th. So that's a good thing, I guess. There's a lot of significant dates going on, and perhaps June is just a good month for us. Maybe because we're on the heels of one of our signs seasons, which would be Cancer. So let's see, what is the energy of the week? We have healing in reverse. We've got water popping out from the past. So it seems like we have been getting over some emotional healing, getting over a nurturing energy, staying at home, filling our cup, hermited energy. So that seems to be the energy of the past. That's something that we are overcoming. We've overcome and we're moving into a new energy. More of a spotlight kind of energy where perhaps you just want to be a little more involved, engaged with community. You want to be a part of a conversation. You want to be talking. You want to be in the know, in the mix. You just want to be involved in a way that feels intimate and sociable, and you are, a part of a bigger life, a bigger journey, a bigger story. Something, though, that feels light-hearted, not super serious, but just an enjoyable kind of community mixed energy. Wanting to be social, perhaps you could just want to be seen. Interesting. We've got Parvati here with devotion. When I was first seeing her, the energy that I was feeling was there's something you don't maybe necessarily want to be devoted to, but still has your energy attached, or it still eclipses you in one way or another. Something you don't want to be devoted to, but it's still on your mind. It still shows up. It still circles around. It still makes itself known as if it's meant to be significant, and that could be irritating to you and also signaling your crown chakra. There seems to be some type of opening there in terms of more information is needed, more insight is needed, credibility. There's something here. It could even be this energy of losing credibility to a certain perspective you had or an idea you have, or I don't know. There's something. We've got intuition and downloads. Things could be piling up. Things could be stacking up. It could be getting to a point where the information is stacking up against your original assumptions or what you originally thought to be true. You could be being surprised. I didn't even notice. So you could have thought something was not the next step, and then so naturally it ends up being the next step. That's super interesting. There's a lot of synchronicities between 41 and 42, or just this idea of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, an order to things. You could have not predicted the order, or you could have wanted something to change and not thought something was fate, not considered something aligned, and maybe perhaps it ends up that it actually is, or something like that. Or there's something from your intuition, there's information being pulled from your crown chakra, and this could have been information that was being gathered during your hangman energy, that is now like being opened up and accessed and let out into the world, and becoming a part of your vibration. So I think you could be raising your vibration, increasing your energy, your multitudes, your increasing your energy. But yeah, there's like this mountain of information being released and just kind of coming into your vision to the point where it's like you can't help but see something clearly. We have 555 there. We did have 444. So yeah, it could be some signs and synchronicities showing up to be like, yeah, like this is, this is what it is. This is what you think it is, or this is what you were hoping against, we're hoping for. Either way, it feels like information coming to the fold. The back of the deck, we have take charge and action. Okay. Let's see what the water deck is saying. It's interesting. Unseen, unexpected, unassured. Hold on. Oh, this is interesting. I'm seeing here definitely coming something. So there's a lot of things here because there's misjudgment here. There's misjudgment here, and there's wealth or abundance in a different form than you expected, coming from a different source than you expected. Like, there's a whole lot of things that feel out of place here, but it's not out of place because you're in a different timeline. So the example that I'm thinking of is like, imagine, in today's world, you wouldn't expect to see a faucet, a broken faucet, growing like a plant growing out of a broken faucet. But in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has returned to the earth, it would be very possible that you could see a broken faucet or broken pipe, like a plant growing out of a broken pipe, because that broken pipe could be like partially buried in the dirt. And so like life is springing from all around, and the earth always prevails and overtakes. You know how it's always like that in like the post-apocalyptic shows. There's like plants growing up the buildings, growing up the side of a building, plants overtaking a car. So it's like this is natural, but it's not natural for the world that you've lived in or the world that you've been prepared for. But this is aligned. This is the way things are meant to be. So there's an unexpected source of abundance. If you've been seeing abundance in the form as like water, that's how you view abundance, and it ends up showing up as a plant, so that's a different kind of abundance. And if you think that faucets are supposed to produce water, but this faucet produces plants, that's an unexpected revelation. So there's a lot of like things feeling like misplaced, not misplaced, but out of place, or miscalculated, mischaracterized, misrepresented, misjudged. But in the end, it's actually all natural. It's all natural. And I'm just looking at these lily pads on this thing, and I'm even thinking about like lily pads and then the lotus like floating up from the dirt, and so it's like, how is this thing that's so pristine and clean coming from something so dirty? We've got the 11s showing up. So this could be divine timing, that this is being revealed in this way. Yeah, this could be a revelation. This feels like the stars are aligned in a sense. I am getting this energy of like the stars are aligned. This is the stitching, like this is the weaving. This is fate in a sense. But you definitely could have not seen it, but like I'm seeing like a spider, like this is the hands of fate. But it's tricky in that way because there's clearly a lot of deception here, like mountains blocking your view, mountains blocking your view, but then also like a mountain of information being revealed to you. So interesting. Things are different now. Embrace metamorphosis. So something that, maybe you've had a certain idea about for a while, if it ends up changing on you, I guess like accept it, try not to fight it too much. I'm not gonna pull from this. I'm gonna pull from the tarot, and yeah, let's pull from the tarot. So we have a lot of reverse cards. We have a lot of reversals here, which I think is significant. A lot of reversals here. Okay. So we have the Fool at the back of the deck. We have the King of Swords reversed, I guess. We have the Eight of Swords sideways, and we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. I mean, this could be a big week, could not be a big week. I don't know. These energies, these cards are, I don't know, deceiving. There could be a lot of restructuring going on right now. A change of positions, a change in idea, a change in thought process. Like the wheel could be finishing its turn. You know how the wheel turns in the Wheel of Fortune? So the wheel could be finishing its turn. And so it's like, it's the turning is slowing down. If you've been going like this for a while, so you've been like this for a while, kind of in and out of ideas, in and out of perspectives, in and out of consciousness, the wheel is slowing and you're coming into focus of your surroundings, like where you've ended up, what the wheel ended up picking for you. And yeah, like you're seeing your next steps, like you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not like you're just seeing the next step. You might be getting a glimpse. You might be experiencing long-term vision right now. So you could be seeing something that is going to be long-term. You could be getting a vision of the future that is long-term. So either someone could be coming into your life that's long-term, a job that could be coming into your life that's long-term, an idea that's long-term, a new hobby, a new practice, a new habit that's long-term, an action that leads to long-term results, long-term impact. Just like there's this idea of like the long form, the long terms coming into the grounding, because it's almost like, the Wheel of Fortune. If the Wheel of Fortune was the portal, now you're getting off because the Wheel of Fortune is slowing down. And so you're stabilizing, and now you're in the environment and you can see clearly. And so also maybe there's a bit of acceptance happening around like realizing that a lot of what you saw while you were spinning was illusions, because you were seeing the mixed realities, or like, you were seeing illusions, you're seeing deformities, because when you're spinning, you're seeing things in a really wacky way. You're not really seeing a solid form. So your gaze could be really clearing up. And that could be really relenting to you, relenting for you. Yeah. Settling is, there could be an energy of settling down, settling into a creative practice, finding your voice. Yeah. You've got the sun. Digging up an old practice, an old hobby, getting back to your ways. You could be getting back in the saddle with something you haven't done for a long time, or something you kind of thought was dead and gone, or you buried in the past, or whatever. You thought you were done with it. Turns out you're not done with it, or something like that. Could be digging up something. going back into an arena you haven't been in for a while. I definitely see your desire to take action coming through. It's like I want to say your intuition overtaking your desire to take action, but that also still doesn't feel completely right. It could just be that these things are going together, like, you know, your intuition and your desire to take action are coming together to create and stabilize a new hobby or a new practice, a new idea. Yeah. And so there's a graduation of sorts happening here. Let me upgrade. Answer this is a new thing. Upgrade. We have the King of Cups here, the Tower, and some far off card. We have the Emperor at the back of the deck and the King of Wands peeking out. So that makes every king except for King of Pentacles here. Let me upgrade you into new thing. Introduce you to some new things. Upgrade you. In a faraway land, I feel like this tower and this other card, you know, far off, there's, I don't know, something going on there. Let me upgrade ya. 44. Could have skipped step 43, which is 7. I think you're skipping the options part. You're skipping the part where there's a lot of options. You're skipping the part where there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of blah, blah, blahs. And you're just getting into the decision part where you have to make a choice. You know, you're skipping all the long form work and you're just getting to the, okay, now what am I really going to choose to do with my time? You know, you're skipping all of the contemplation and you're just making a decision. You're going straight to that road. You're going straight down that road instead. There's definitely something you need to say. You need to open your mouth. You've been quiet, like tight-lipped for a while now. So there's definitely something that needs to be said. You need to open your mouth and say something. Speak. You definitely need to speak. Sing your song. And I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's something old. It's something ancient that you need to get off your chest, unbury, that you need to give up. Could be an old hatred. Maybe you need to touch the center of something, speak to the center of something that you've been devoted to and generous with for a very long time. Something you've given like your all to, your heart to, a lot of your energy to, and perhaps something that has failed you or disappointed you in the reality of what it's looked like or what it has come out to be. And maybe you're like, this is not what I want. And maybe it's like a moment of getting real and admitting that, you know, because it's like maybe the universe is like, well, we brought you this because this is technically what you've been asking for. Like, this is it. This is the plan. This is the fate. And maybe free will is your lesson here because maybe it's like, oh, but I don't want that, you know, and you can't like, you don't want it, and it is what it is. So maybe there's something like feeling you need to stay in a place because technically it's sacred, or you need to try out this energy or give to this or be in this space because it's sacred or it's protected or it's traditional or whatever, or it's what you've always wanted, it's what you've earned. It's there's success attached to it. There's prominence. This is a gift. This is a relic. Whatever. In one way or another, it's a crown. It's important. Um, but maybe to you, it's dirty, or to you, it's oppressive. It's repressive. It's straining. It's stressful. It's not what you want. And so perhaps you need to speak up, and you could feel like your desire to take action overwhelming your intuition. Like maybe what you are intuitively being told, you are not really wanting to follow that, and you're feeling directed towards a different action, a different direction, which could be confusing if you are someone who wants to follow your intuition and considers your intuition to be best. But your intuition could just be saying, like, this is what it is. This is the path that you're looking for if you're looking for this particular thing. Like, this is like, okay, you're looking for your soulmate. Maybe the universe brings you your soulmate. Like, this is on paper in the Akashic realms, this is your soulmate for this lifetime. This is the person. But maybe you're like, I don't want them. And maybe you didn't even realize that that could be a possibility, that you could not want to be with your soulmate. And it could not be something like toxic. It's just like you're not into it. You don't want to be with them. So now what? Then who do you choose? Then what do you do? Because now you met your soulmate, you realize you don't want them. So now the world really cracks open for you because you're not looking for the one, you found the one and you don't like the one. So now who do you like? Now what does love look like? What does a relationship look like? A lot gets to be redefined. It is a lot of dreams die with that type of experience. Imagine not liking your soulmate. But a lot is opened up as well. And so perhaps there's a bit of an energy of that, where something like that is coming to terms, coming to the table with things like that, coming to terms with things like that. Expression. There's definitely something with expression. But maybe like even saying, like stating something plainly, like something is what it is. It's clear to see, and I think you have clarity in a sense. You have clarity. And maybe your words are important. Like you need to start asking for something different because you've received what you have been asking for. Like, if the universe does speak in specific words, asking for your soulmate is very specific. If the universe brings you your soulmate and you don't want to be with them anymore, when you start asking for love and partnership, you don't say your soulmate, because you met your soulmate and you don't like them. Right? So you're not looking for them. Now you're just looking for an equal partner, someone that you really enjoy. Now you got to get more specific, or you got to leave it open-minded, or you need to not ask for that. I don't know what it is, but there's something like that around here. Something coming back around. Hold on. You could have misjudged your own dreams. So in the far past, we had the Five of Pentacles turned over. So which is the Five of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, and it could just be that like whatever came to rescue you, you're like, ugh, I'm not sure I want to be saved by you in particular. Or it's like a ghost, it's like a relic. Whatever you pulled up was just a relic. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not what you're interested in. It's not what you're looking for. It's not the answer. Something else is. And I think you do have your thinking cap on. Like maybe you're tapping into a different part of your intuition that's not the sky, but it's the earth. So it's leading you down a different path. Perhaps your intuition speaks to different dreams. So we've got the Ace of Wands, and we've got the High Priestess with the Ten of Swords behind her. We still have that Tower moment connected to this. And we have the Lovers at the back of the deck and the Two of Swords. Definitely a decision which you seem to be clear on needing to make. So what else is it now? awakening a different vision. Like maybe like um what's coming through here is like empowerment in the sense of like now you get to awaken a new dream. Decide what else do you want. If you're not going to accept this wish, what do you want? What do you want instead? What's the play here? What actions do we want to take? Because at this point, it seems like maybe you've canceled out more things than you've accepted when it comes to what's been offered. You've said no more times than you've said yes. You've said more no's than yeses. And so there's a lot of open space for something to come through. There's a lot in the past that you've left behind and you're continuing to walk away from. So it's like, okay, well, where do you go next? Where do we go from here? It's time to like kind of shake the wand and make a different wish, make a new wish, ask for something else. There's an opportunity here to discover something else or take an opportunity, be used in a different way. There's a totem here asking you to, shake it and make a different wish. Because you don't have a lot of, like, your wishes have come true and you're not satisfied with them, it seems. So it's like you got to dump that version of you in the past because you don't want to be with them. You don't want to be them. You don't want to be with them. You've been them. You might not have even noticed it because they didn't feel like you because it's perhaps not you. Those dreams are perhaps connected to something that doesn't resonate within you. Maybe something that needs to be cleared. Maybe a cord needs to be cut within you. And those dreams are attached to that. You have the 10 of Cups reversed. And the Knight of Pentacles probably out again. Yeah, I think you need to walk away because I think you're tired of singing the same old song. Like, you're not trying to create, the thing that you've been creating for the past 10 years. Or you're not trying to create the life you've been creating in your mind or in, all these other shadow aspects in all these other lives. You don't actually want that. You've made all these moldings of this same thing. You've dreamed this same dream again and again and again, and it turns out you don't even want it. So now it's like, okay, there's an opportunity to shake the table and make a different dream, write down a new dream of something else, dream of something different. You need to take some time perhaps to explore what that dream is. Perhaps go to your altar, clear your altar, and ask your ancestors. And you could work with the number 5 specifically because perhaps you've overcome some karma that's cleared out this path for you and allowed you to awaken to new dreams. So maybe you need to work with your ancestors because perhaps they have answers for you. They have information that can help you understand what's happening here. Yeah, hard liquor. This is very interesting if you ask me. It's cool. Hold on. You know how there's hard water? Is there hard liquor? Can liquor be hard like water? Yeah, I guess I'm asking, can liquor go bad? Can liquor go bad? Um, Some things just don't go bad. And so it might have to be a choice. It might have to be a choice because if something doesn't go bad on its own and like it can always stick around, like there are dreams that are always going to sound good, there are words that are always going to sound good to say. You know, you have to choose to say something differently. You have to say something different. You have to choose to dream a different dream. You have to choose to cut that off, you know, because it's not going to do it for you because I mean, technically there's no need. But you're playing an old game, and I think perhaps you need to restructure, reroute, redo the game plan because I think the game has changed, and I feel like you need to sit with your ancestors with a piece of paper and write and figure out something different. Take some time with them to figure out something different because I think the plans have changed, is what I'm getting here. The plans have changed. You know, you're not getting off where you thought you were. There may have been an illusion happening. And so there's a little bit, there's an awakening happening here, a wake up call happening here. From within, though, it seems. And I think you are dumping something and moving beyond it, setting your sails for other shores. You know, it's like this whole time you decided you wanted to go sail to India and you end up in America, you know? It's like new worlds. Yeah. Okay, let's go to our altars and see what's going on. Okay, there's something with the number 29, but also perhaps with the number 9. Okay. Bye.